Hello and welcome back, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here, and today, this was a video I had a really hard time putting together just because of how good these commanders are. Talking about the archer commanders, we're going to be doing the archer commander ranking order based on the 3 different roles that we've done so far for the infantry and the cavalry commanders. We're going to round it out with the archer version of it today. Make sure you stick around and stay tuned. Let's jump into it. All right, so again, we're going to start with open field, and this was the hardest one by far. Then we've got rally, then we've got garrison. Now, this made me think about having to do a follow-up video to it and maybe doing a little bit of self-serving complaining a bit, and I'll show you why on this very first slide here. So let's go ahead and jump into the open field, and I'll go ahead and drop my camera just so you guys can see the whole thing. And then again, we'll go through all 3 different roles. So first off, we've got open field. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up as we always have. Let's go ahead and start with number 10, open field, commander in the game, El Cid. Minimum 5511, max is best. He's one of the only legendary archer commanders in the Golden Tavern there. You can get very early on in the game without a wheel or an MGE or anything like that. And that's kind of how he feels still. He's a 3+ year old commander, and that's why he's at the bottom. I think that ultimately there's 9 better ones, and that's why he's number 10. So let's go ahead and go up to the next one, which is Edward. And you'll start to see some number discrepancies here on the left side, and you'll start to understand why as we get towards the top, because it's kind of ridiculous. Edward is the 9th ranked archer commander for open field, and mainly the only reason is because of his rage requirement. It slows it down quite a bit. The other main reason is that the other 8 are just so damn good. So minimum 5551, max is best for open field. Edward at number 9. Number 8, Tori. The Garrison, the new Garrison archer commander, is above Edward and El Cid. She's got some very specific things that she brings to the table, especially when she's maxed, that no other commander in the game does simultaneously. She not only has some great buffs to damage with her primary skill, but her expertise reduces rage, a substantial amount of rage on the target. She's also got tons of different things at her disposal, like, I don't know, immunity to silence. She's completely immune to silence with her expertise. The fact that she's number 8, just by those few things that I listed off, should tell you how strong the other 7 archer commanders are on this list, especially for open field. Number 7 is Cyrus the Great. This guy's actually kind of built for open field. He doesn't have any rally skills. He doesn't have any garrison skills. He is kind of built for open field. The minimum you want to have him at is 5551. Max is, of course, best again. He also has some rage stuff going on, but he doesn't really have a lot of the extra utility that some of the other commanders in the top 6 have, which is why he's at the bottom of what is actually ranked number 1. The top 7 commanders are ranked number 1. It's just a matter of pairing them together, piecing them together on what you want to do. This is really bad. Number 6 is Tamiris, and on the last list that I did on archers, I think I had her ranked like 2nd or 3rd. Because of how versatile she is, she can be used with multiple different troop types as a secondary, because she's only got one skill that's really dedicated to only archers, and it's an attack bonus, so it's not even that big of a deal. But she is a rally commander as well. She does have a rally skill, so I've dropped her down the list just a little bit, but again, there's not many other commanders in the game that give you a damage bonus on the target of skill damage taken for that target. So she's just a unique commander that, again, at number 6 used to be very much higher, but again, the other commanders that we've got on this list are just so devastating. You can get away with 5155. Max is best for the extra counterattack damage and damage with her expertise. But again, 5155 is perfectly fine on the open field. Number 5, we've got Gilgamesh on the open field. And again, as we're getting towards the top, I think I have to maybe make a statement of purpose before we get to the top 5, really. And that's that I prioritized a few things on this list, specifically for open field. The fact that there are AoE and single target commanders on this list, I prioritized AoE commanders for open field because you tend to get more value out of them on the open field, especially with archers, because of just the way that you are going to be using them together and using them as part of a group. Now, archers specifically, and this is going to go into my next video on kind of ranting about the state of the archer class, the archer commanders, etc., is that they do everything. They do everything. All of them have either all the stuff that you want for a particular role, or they do something that no other commander does, or they do it better than another commander does, or something. So it's very difficult to rank these guys past number 1, which is why we've got 7 number 1 commanders on this list. Absolutely insane. But Gilgamesh, coming out brand new, you can use him 5-5-1-1, and really 5-5-5-1 I think would be even better. Really just a matter of, 5-5-1-5 would be even better, but again, 5-5-1-1 is doable. His Blood Craze effect is very nice to have maxed out on the skill number 4, but max is of course best. You can use him on the open field and cause devastating effects. Debuff, buff, the Blood Craze effect, it's just insane what Gilgamesh brings to the table. Number 4, Ramesses II is one of the staples of any archer open field player. He's got attack bonuses, he's got defense bonuses, he's got heal immunity effects. We did do a video yesterday on just how powerful Ramesses could possibly be, especially when paired with Gilgamesh in an open field or rally situation. We're going to have to see how it plays out testing-wise once Gilgamesh comes out, but even before Gilgamesh, Ramesses was a top number 1 player, or top number 1 commander on this list. And again, if it wasn't for a couple other things that makes the other 3 kind of maybe a little different or unique, Ramesses actually would be number 1, I think, for a lot of people. And again, the top 7 and really the top 5 and 6 are just so good. There's no way to really say this is a definitive number 1, number 2, number 3. All of these are like 1A through 1F. Minimum 5-5-5-1, max is best, of course, for the heal immunity effect that attaches to his primary skill when you expertise him. Number 3, Nebuchadnezzar II. He's just really good. Again, AoE. He's got extra AoE. He's got extra damage. He's got extra attack bonuses. He's got defense bonuses. He got so many different things going on for him, and only 1 rally skill makes him one of the best open field commanders in the game. Very similar, again, to Gilgamesh, having a lot of very unique things going on for him that trigger based off of other things that happen every single second on a battlefield, which means that he is always activating things that will help you win on the battlefield. Nebuchadnezzar at number 3. Number 2, Artemisia. And again, as you can see, I'm really heavily favoring AoE here. The number 3 and the number 2 are AoE based. Artemisia is one of the biggest damage AoEers in the game, not to mention the fact that she has damages to her bonus damages on her skills. She's got a health bonus and a defense bonus, making her more tanky in every single situation. And the fact that you don't need to max her to actually have one of the best commanders on the open field for archers in the game is very, very nice. Minimum 5-5-1-5. Again, this is where you would want to use any of the ones that have 5-5-1-5. You want to have those being used. You're using your skill reset tokens if you need to try and retry over and over again. Obviously 5-5-2-5, 5-5-3-5 is still going to save you a ton of heads if you want to leave it at that. But again, max is best with the extra damage bonus that Artemisia provides with her expertise as well. And number 1 has been since the beginning of the game. I actually thought about reworking YSG into a different spot on this list because all these commanders are just so good. But here's the deal. YSG has, again, he's one of the only ones that has, he's the only one on this list at least, that has a primary skill circular AoE. Okay, primary skill. I know that Nebuchadnezzar and Cyrus have a circular one when it procs on certain occasions, but YSG has a primary. He also has a second skill that generates rage, 100 rage, and 100% attack bonus. and it fires off fairly regularly, sometimes 2 or 3 times in a skill cycle, which is insane. At least once is what I usually see, sometimes twice. I'd say the average is 1.5 there. One cycle you'll get 1, one cycle you'll get 2, one cycle you'll get 1, one cycle you'll get 2, and then you'll get a 3. It's crazy. That's 300 rage, that's 200 rage, that's 100 rage, and that's 100% attack bonus for archers. And then not only that, you've got the 50% skill damage bonus that he provides with his 4th skill. Absolutely incredible. 1700 damage factor on his AoE. Makes YSG number 1 in my opinion. Not to mention, he's one of the first commanders you can get on the wheel after Richard, and everybody should have YSG maxed. Not to mention that on top of everything else, you can put him as a secondary to pretty much any commander in the game, and it will be better for it. So YSG again leads the list. Minimum 5511 to get the rage bonus for the 2nd skill and to get his primary AoE good, and then again max is best to generate that circular AoE, boost up his damage, and get the 50% damage bonus from the 4th skill. Alright, let's drop back down, and we'll go to Rally. Here we go. Number 10. Best Rallier is El Cid. Just don't do it. I mean, you must max, but if you're gonna do it, you gotta max them. But I mean, just don't. And really, the majority of these are gonna be must max, because again, you're putting not only your troops but also your alliance and kingdom troops and coalition troops, I should say, on the line in KVK when you're rallying, and even in garrisoning as well. So you want to make sure that you have these commanders maxed if you're rallying with them. But again, El Cid is the 10th worst when it comes to actually rallying with archer commanders in the game. As of Season of Conquest, KVK 4 and onward. Number 9, we've got Artemisia. Now, technically, she can pump out a ton of damage. As a rally commander, she's got health and defense bonuses, which is exactly what you want as a rally commander. The problem is she self-harms herself with a 300 damage factor, and normally on the open field, that's not that big of a deal. But when you've got 2+ million troops in your rally, that 300 troops becomes quite a bit. Now, you won't take dead from those. Those will be severely wounded. But again, it's not the best thing to have when you're already taking a crap ton of skill damage anyway. Not to mention the fact her expertise, her skills, they will basically buff. Her expertise buffs the garrison that you're rallying. So you're going to give them a 15% skill damage bonus. Is that really what you want to be doing to a Xeno garrison with 3 million troops in it or 2 million troops in it, depending on the structure you're rallying? No, thank you. I'd rather not do that. Xeno YSS with 15% skill damage bonus on top of all the damage they already do. I'd rather not. So we're going to go ahead and have Artemisia at number 9, even though technically, if everything worked out perfectly, she actually would not be too bad, except for the self-harming. The 300 damage factor from her primary skill hurting herself, while not causing extra dead, does cause extra wounded, and again, it hurts you to the point where it makes you reinforce more, and it's a snowball effect where you don't want to have to do that as a rally commander. Number 8, we have Emanatori, and again, immune to silence, 200 rage reduction from her expertise. Her first primary skill is amazing. You've got 20% extra damage bonus if you use her as primary. You don't have to use the garrison tree. She's got archer and support talent trees. That's fine. That is fine for a rally commander. Even though she is a garrison commander, you don't have to actually use the garrison talent tree, and she could actually be primary. Give the secondary commander she's with a 20% damage boost, and then all the other benefits that she has from her second and her 4th skills that are not garrison based, and her expertise make her very, very strong as a rally commander, believe it or not. Number 7, we've got YSG. He really starts to fade after the non-Season of Conquest KVKs, because again, you have the meta garrisons out now. You've got the Xeno YSSs, you've got the Jadwiga YSSs, you've got the Saladin YSSs, you've got now coming out in a week Emanatori with YSS, Emanatori with Artemisia. You've got all that stuff coming out. YSG just doesn't perform quite as well, but he does do a crap ton of damage, and maybe, even just maybe, Emanatori may actually be above YSG in this instance, because again, AoE doesn't necessarily matter when you're talking about rally as much, at least. Now, of course, you can get swarmed, but YSG taking a swarm is like a piece of paper getting dunked into a swimming pool. It just disintegrates. So maybe a mandatory, now that I'm going over this, should actually be in the number 7 spot, and maybe YSG drops to number 8, even though YSG has been a meta rally commander up until the Season of Conquest KVKs. Number 6, Tamiris. And again, she used to be a meta commander, Edward Tamiris. KVK 3 right now, I guess, is the way it would work out with how the timing goes. I'm not sure if you can get these guys. You can. I think you can still use these guys in KVK 2 with the time changes. But either way, once again, Season of Conquest comes out, she gets kind of phased out a bit. She's a great counter rallier if you want to go ahead and debuff the rally that you are getting rallied with, and you want to counter rally the rally that's hitting your garrison. You can counter rally with Tamiris, and that's not bad, increasing the skill damage taken of the target by quite a substantial amount, especially if it's Pakal Herald with having a Tamiris counter rally. Not bad at all, and she's got great counterattack damage. Must max, of course. Number 5, Cyrus the Great. Same thing. He doesn't have anything that's necessarily bad for rally, but he also doesn't have anything necessarily that's good for rally. That being said, he does pump out a ton of damage whenever certain things trigger on his skills. He's got some rage reduction effects, rage bonus effects, I should say. And again, that all kind of ties up to being a decent rally pair with, say, a Nebuchadnezzar, a Gilgamesh, etc. Ramses, obviously. As we start to get towards the top 3, you're starting to see where we're headed there. Edward at number 4. Edward Nebu is still a very, very, very harsh rally to take. Edward can definitely still do work. And again, with him being valuable before Season of Conquest as well as during, that's why I've got him at number 4 and not, say, number 5 behind Cyrus, because he's still usable. He's still usable in Season of Conquest KVKs, as long as you've got a Nebuchadnezzar to go behind him. And again, maybe a Gilgamesh, an Edward Gilgamesh rally. I'd love to see some testing on that. We will be doing that testing here on this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button if you want to go ahead and see those things coming up as they come out. Number 3, we've got Ramses. He's really good. He's kind of a big deal. Not only is he a great open field commander like we saw on the last list, but he is also the meta, one of the meta for currently rallies. Now, again, we did a video yesterday on seeing whether Ramses could actually be the best pair for Gilgamesh for a rally situation. We're going to have to do some testing on that to see if he is. But right now, Ramses Nebu is the rally meta for archers, and that's why he is at number 3. And again, he will continue to do so. He will continue to be a part of the meta for rally archer commanders in this game. Number 2, we got Nebuchadnezzar. I think he just does a little bit more damage than Ramses does. I think that especially for swarms and for the bonuses that you get from Nebuchadnezzar from tankiness perspective, you're going to get a better trade from Nebuchadnezzar, but you may get a faster rally destroy with Ramses. It's kind of a trade-off. Do you think you can take out that garrison faster with more attack damage? That's where Ramses comes in. Also, having that skill damage reduction is very, very nice coming against you whenever you have that up and running. And then same thing with Nebuchadnezzar, all the extra damage that he pumps out, very, very strong. I think that Ramses number 3, Nebuchadnezzar number 2, and with Gilgamesh coming out next week, he is number 1. He is going to answer all the prayers of the Cav and Archer commander players out there trying to take out Zenobia YSS. Gilgamesh, literally, with every single skill that he has, does exactly that to a T. He's going to be the one that is going to change the landscape of this game, and I've said meta probably about 30 times on this video, but it doesn't matter. You'll never hear it enough. And I will say this, there's not going to necessarily be a meta anymore, and I'll be doing a video on that very shortly as well, explaining what I mean by that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Garrison. We're going to go ahead and pull this puppy down. Number 10, Garrison on the list. You know him. You love him. Wait, Edward. It's not El Cid. Oh my goodness. Edward's the worst. Just don't. For Garrison. If you put him as a secondary, you cut his damage in half. If you put him as primary, he'll be firing skills off once every 2 skills that your rally is sending off, so don't do it. Plus, again, most of his stuff is either for open field and doesn't apply, or says while on the map, so just don't do Edward on Garrison. The person that you thought it was going to be is at number 9, El Cid. Even though he doesn't necessarily have any while on the map skills, all of his skills are just subpar. They're not up to snuff with the latest and greatest. He is the epitome of Generation 1. He is actually Generation 0, which is why he's on the bottom of almost every list out there. He's very specific on what he's good for, and that's basically using his disarm and silence and trying to make sure that you at least interrupt some things. That's basically it. He doesn't really do much else for you. He's great on arc. That's about it. Number 8, Cyrus the Great. He's got some while on the map stuff. He, at the end of the day, again, does some good things, but some of his skills just don't work in Garrison, and he's very squishy. Number 7, Ramses II. He's got some great attack bonuses, some great defense bonuses. We've gone over why he's so good. His skill damage reduction is very nice. The heal immunity effect is very nice, but again, he has some while on the map skills, and that's why 5155 would be the minimum. Max would be best, but his second skill is while on the map. Same thing with Cyrus. The 4th skill is not really that big of a deal, whether it's maxed or not, until you start getting to his expertise, and that's what makes him really good. Let's go to number 6. We've got Nebuchadnezzar. Same thing. His rally skill does not help you in a Garrison situation. That's why 5515 is the minimum. Max is best in a Garrison situation, as always, because his expertise does not augment the rally skill. Number 5, we have Tamiris. Actually, Artemisia Tamiris used to be a meta Garrison back in the day before, Xeno came out and Theodora came out and YSS came out. Artemisia Tamiris used to be the way to go. Artemisia Wu was the other way. To counteract Attila Takeda. That being said, 5155 is the minimum. Her second skill is a rally skill. Max is best for the extra counterattack damage and damage bonus. That's what puts Tamiris at number 5. Number 4, Gilgamesh. Must max. Now, why do you have to max Gilgamesh? Well, it's the Blood Craze. It's the Blood Craze bonuses. You also have that sweet damage bonus that you receive from everything that you get. You just want to have everything that you need with Gilgamesh. His expertise really makes a Garrison actually shine quite a bit. And with the exception of his his rally skill, everything will apply. At number 3, we've got YSG. He's just still good, guys. He's good. Like, you can put him as a secondary to whatever, and he's good. He's a little squishy. He's not going to provide you with the extra tankiness, but he definitely prevents some swarm. And in a Garrison situation, you're causing dead with YSG, so he will always have value. He will always have value. Number 2, Artemisia. There's no doubt about it. Artemisia, up until next week, was the best Archer Garrison commander in the game. That did not go away. And in fact, will maybe be augmented by that new Archer commander coming out next week, which is at number 1. You gotta have her. She's great for open field. She's great for Garrison. And then EMULATOR coming out next week will be the number 1 Archer Garrison commander in the game. There's no doubt about why. Just so devastating. And if Artemisia's silence is removed by EMULATOR's silence immunity, that's going to be pretty critical, because that's a big knock on Artemisia is you're silencing yourself, but you're getting 50% skill damage bonus or damage bonus. If you can get the damage bonus and not be silenced, that's amazing. That's amazing. So that's what we're looking for there. Artemisia number 1. Artemisia number 2. EMULATOR number 1. Both of them are must max. If you are a Garrison player, this is the pair you want to have to go against Pakal Herald. EMULATOR with the Artemisia secondary, I think, is the way to go. EMULATOR with having the support talent tree is going to be incredible. Alongside the Archer tree and the Garrison tree is going to be absolutely amazing. You're gonna want to have them. I'm likely going to get this on my main account, and just all in all, is going to be a great pair. So again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it's been helpful for you. This is the 3rd edition. We will be doing a pairings portion of something like this as well. I'm also going to be redoing my Commander ranking list from top to bottom, regardless of troop type, on your maxing order as well. Somebody asked for a revamp of that, and I will certainly do that as well. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been helpful for you. If you have, throw a comment in the comment section below, hit the like button, and hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you back, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Cheers, have a good one, and take care.